Hi and welcome back to another GW Coins video. Today I have a truly special coin to show. It's a silver hoedjesschelling from the province of Zeeland, struck in the year 1711. After acquiring the coin, I sent it to the US for grading at NGC, which took about 3 months, but after that I got it back in AU details and with the special shipwreck certification. And the shipwreck certification you can only get if the coin actually came from a shipwreck. Also, according to my research, only 39 pieces are in private hands. But I did get that information from a pretty old book, so the number nowadays could be a bit higher. This coin, as you might see on the label, was recovered from the VOC, which stands for United Dutch East India Company, ship bearing the name the Zuytdorp. It's in pretty good condition still, even after more than 300 years submerged in the sea of Western Australia. Also, the mintage papers for the 1711 hoedjesschelling coins were on board of the ship, so nobody truly knows how many were minted, as the papers weren't found again, and back at the mint of Middelburg they didn't keep a copy. But it is at least less than what one ship could usually carry. The ship was an East Indiaman type ship, or in Dutch, spiegelretourschip. It had around a max load capacity of 1200 ton, had a length of 160 feet, and had at least 40 big main cannons. It was in use from 1701 until 1712, and would usually sail to and from Batavia, which is now modern-day Jakarta, Indonesia, via Cape van Goede Hoop, which is modern-day Cape Town in South Africa, for the trade in spice. I will now show a rough sketch of the route the ship would have taken before it ran aground in Australia. And now the exact place the ship stranded near Shark Bay, Australia. The ship was presumably discovered in the year 1834 by Aboriginals, but after telling a farmer near Perth, they couldn't find it again. But in 1927 the wreck was eventually found, and in 1941 there was a first expedition to the wreck. But only until 1954 was the wreck identified as that of the Zuytdorp. After the discovery, Western Australian Museum, with help from the Dutch, worked on recovering items from the wreck in around 1976. Most of the recovered items now lie in an Australian museum, with some items also going back to the Netherlands. The place of the wreck was also put under 24/7 surveillance, and if you want to enter that area, by sea or land, where the wreck lies, you need a lot of permits. Still to this day that's the case, as it's considered a national treasure of Australia. Now looking a bit more at the design itself, on the front you will see a Dutch lion laying down and holding a spear with a freedom hat on top of the spear. The text surrounding the coin is as followed: Ita relinquenda ut accepta. In English that translates to as, it should be left as how it was received. Then for the back of the coin, you can see the coat of arms of Zeeland and the date of 1711. The text on the back is as followed: Moneta nova Argentea ordinium Zeelandia, which translates into new silver coin of the province of Zeeland. You can also see this weird line on the coin at 7 o'clock, which is most likely a die crack, but even though I asked NGC to include that on the label, they didn't recognize it for some reason. Most of the recovered coins from the Zuytdorp lie in museums, with only a very small amount in private hands. The estimate is around 1 to about 2% of the recovered coins are privately held, and with the condition this one is in, it might very well be among the highest graded examples. The Zuytdorp is one of the more famous and well-studied VOC shipwrecks, as this is one of only a handful East India ships that sunk near Australia. The number for the Netherlands during the period of 1600s to 1800s was only around 5 sunken ships. I will now also show a miniature model of the Zuytdorp ship that lies in an Australian museum, just how it looked when it still sailed the seas. Now looking a bit more at the graded label itself, you can see 1711 Netherlands 1HS. The 1HS stands for 1 Hoedjesschelling. Province of Zeeland, AU details, which is about uncirculated. Saltwater damage, of course, because it was recovered from a wreck. And the pedigree of Zuytdorp, which is the name of the ship. Shipwreck certification with a nice little presentation label. Hope you liked this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.